Hello. Well, let's start where we left off last week. And I want to fix this. You remember that we created these beams, this wave. So these beams are not straight. If you select one of the beams, remember that it starts at this level at 2 feet, and then it ends at 0 feet. Okay, so this starts 2. We can control this here. If we select this element, this is 2. And if we select this corner, this is 0. Okay, and here we have a connection that it's not nice, especially if we're going to work with an exposed structure. There's a wonderful command in Revit to fix these kind of things. And it's here, it's in steel. We're working with the steel structure. So in steel, you have here notch and meter. So we're going to explore these two options today. Okay, so let's start with meter. I think there's a drawing here. Yeah, so this is what it does. We have two beams that are not connected, and we create a perfect connection with this meter. Okay, so let's see how it works. We have to select the first one, the second one, and then we have to go to steel, and here just click meter, and whoop, something wonderful happens. Okay, so we have a perfect connection. You see that here we have this cube and this dot, so that means that there's a connection here. Then the problem here is this perpendicular beam, that it's not nice. So far we're going to do this so that we can see that this connection is perfect. We can do that with all the beams here. So remember, select the first one, select the second one, we go to steel, meter, and move this backwards. Select the first beam, second beam, steel, meter. There you go. And here the first, second, steel, meter. Remember to move this backwards. And this. Well, here, if we arrive at the corner, we can try to do the same thing. So let's apply this option meter to these two beams, see what happens. So I connect this one and connect. So I select both, steel, meter, and it's not perfect. Why? Well, because physically this connection is impossible. We have the same beam, but the angles are different. Okay, so you see that this beam, it goes from 0 to 2, and this beam goes from 0 to 2, but since they don't have the same length, the angle is not perfect. You see that there's a little thing here. So this is the same problem that we will have in reality. Okay, so Revit is good because when there is something that it's impossible to solve, we can see that in Revit before finding this issue in the reality. So what should we do to fix this? We have to change the geometry of this detail. Okay, so I'm going to do it here. Here we have the same. This starts from 0 to 2, and this one, okay, this one is horizontal. You see? What happens if we try to fix this one or to meter this one? We select both, We click Steel-Mitter, see what happens. Yeah, the same. Okay, when we have a beam that is tilted, is not straight, and we have a connection with a beam that doesn't have any tilt, we have this thing happening. Okay, I'm going to try to fix this, but so far let's undo and let's try to fix this. Okay, so it's a question of designing something different. If this connection is not working, we have to change our design, and we have to do something that when we apply the meter, we have this perfect connection here. But this is a real problem. This is what we will be doing in the reality. We try this connection, it's not perfect. So let's try to change the design. There are different options. I'm going to create something that it will look good, but it's not the only option to solve this. There are different alternatives. So I'm going to show you one of them. If we select this beam, we are working on level 15 and this is level 0. Okay, perfect. I'm opening level 15 and this is the place. So okay, I'm going to continue a beam like that, and I'm going to create like a square or a rectangle here. So I'm going to continue this overhang in this direction. Okay. So let's go to structure beam, and we can start here, and let's create a beam with 15 feet. There you go. And I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to select this intersection, a beam like that, 15 feet. And now from here, you see that here we don't have a snap. So that's why it's always useful working with grids. Okay, so I'm going to copy this grid here, copy, move it 15 feet up. And now if I want to create a beam, I have a snap point. And there you go. Let's see what we have done in the 3D. Okay, so here we have two horizontal beams. We have this one, 0, 0, and then we have this one, 0, 0. So if we have this, the meter would be perfect. Let's find out. I select both. I go to steel meter, and we have a perfect connection here. Okay, and if we want a perfect connection between these two beams, I can select this one, this one. I go to steel meter, and we do have a perfect connection here. Move it backwards. Yeah, so you see that now we have all these elements with a nice connection, so we can expose this beam if we want to, because especially the corner is perfect now. Okay, it's not perfect here. Remember that we had this issue. So what would we do here? If I have the same option, I can create an overhang in this direction. So let's create an overhang in that direction. But remember that here we start with 2. Okay, so I can go to level 15. I can move this 15 feet this direction, and then I can create structure beam, this intersection, this intersection here, and this intersection there. And there you go. Let's look at the 3D. Yep. Yes, this is not working because there's a gap here. How can we fix it? Okay, I'm going to start this beam at level or 2 feet up. Yep. And I'm going to end it 2 feet up. And I'm going to do the same with this one. 2 and 2. And for that one, I start at 0, but I end at 2. Okay, so now here I can create a perfect meter between these two beams, steel meter. Okay, move it backwards. And since these two beams are horizontal, because here we have 2 and 2, and here we have 2 and 2, so they are at the same level horizontally, I can meter, or I can select meter. Yep, and this connection is perfect. Okay, so when we have two different tilted beams, the connection is not perfect, but it won't be perfect in the reality. Okay. So if you want a perfect connection to create an exposed steel structure, then we have to work with right geometry. And Revit is great because we find issues in Revit and we don't find issues in reality. Imagine a blacksmith trying to connect these two beams and trying to solve an impossible problem, because it's impossible connecting these two beams with a nice connection if the geometry, if the original geometry is wrong.